Hello friends and welcome to today's video. Today I'm excited to share with you some very fun Christmas or just winter arc crafting ideas slash some things that I want to be crafting this winter season. As always, I'm going to have different resources linked in the description, tutorials, all of that, but today we're just going to be chatting about all of the fun winter cozy crafting plans. This includes Christmas decor. This includes Christmas crafting ideas. This also includes just some nice winter crafting staples that you can make. They could be gifts, they could be for yourself. They can get you just into this winter cozy season. So let's get straight into this video. I have 30 plus ideas for you today. Starting off, we have the first thing right behind me. I said some whimsy starlights. I love the word whimsy and like the idea of adding a little bit of whimsy to everything. It's literally what I want my winter to be like, because winter is such a magical, cozy season, and I think lighting is such a huge way to really get you in that mood, especially with freaking daylight savings when it's getting dark at like 4 or 5 p.m. and you're like miserable. Having some cozy warm lighting, some candles, some cute lamps that you really like makes the world of a difference. Like, I genuinely, since I put this up yesterday, have loved being in my room so much more. Like, I almost get excited to turn these on. These were both from IKEA. You can also make them, but even this in itself, I just got the lamps from IKEA. You make it, it's literally so easy. I got the bulbs from IKEA also, and they sell compatible whatever this is called, like hanging light bulb cords. I got mine from Amazon because it was a bit cheaper, but it doesn't fit quite perfectly, so you probably should get the IKEA one. But there also are ways to make your own star lamps. You can also get different star lamps. I know they sell them a lot of different places, but honestly the IKEA ones were like $7, so that's probably what I would recommend. But if you did want to hand make them, you can kind of make like the cutouts or the colors however you want. Along with making paper stars, you could also make smaller ones that could be hanging, that could be garland, that could also be ornaments. There's like so many ways to go about this. I've also seen people making it out of like book paper, you know, like newspapers, just different types of papers that I feel like add a little bit of a different vibe. Along the same lines, you can also make things out of doilies, which is like a nice way to get around. If you don't want to do a bunch of different like intricate cuts, you can just use some doilies. And I've seen some DIY little like snowflakes, which I think are really cute and cozy. I really like how these look if they're like hung from the ceiling. They look so pretty hung a lot of different places. I feel like if I had more space, I would make every single kind of garland, every single kind of star and snowflake known to man, because they're just so fun to make too. Like, sometimes I wish I had a freaking like elementary school classroom to decorate. You could also totally make these smaller scale and use these as ornaments or a garland. All of these you can make as garlands or ornaments or hang them. You just use it for anything, you know? I didn't really know what to call this. The way I thought of this when I saw it on Pinterest was like, okay, it would actually probably be like incredibly impractical, but like I thought of those little beaded curtains that you have, I don't know, in elementary school, you know, that kind of like, instead of having a door, they just hang from the top of your door. It's kind of cutesy. That's what I thought of, but this could clearly just be like another form of garland that you just put on the wall. You could hang it from your windowsill. You could hang it like low-key anywhere. I think it'd be pretty on a window, honestly. I'm not fully sure how I would go about making this, but I don't know. You could probably do it with like different papers or I don't know, things you get at Michael's or something. I don't know. I haven't seen this before. It screams anthro to me. I think it's really cute. I feel like these kind of like paper hanging garland streamer things also are such a great way to like really decorate your space, because they can take up a lot of like wall space or room space. So even if it's like not that much that you're making, it can really cozyify and get you in the holiday spirit. Oh my gosh, I also said a jellycat tree. I have three jelly cats, so not enough to make a tree out of it. I could just shove them on there somewhere though. I will admit this is gonna be like a $500 tree, but if you have enough stuffies, oh my gosh, I beg that you do this, because I think it's so adorable, and it's easier than even like decorating it with ornaments. You just put your jelly cats on it. I also said a paper loop garland. I think the last time I did this was in like elementary school, when it would be like a countdown to school ending and you would like rip a loop off, but you could do that, rip a loop off, like counting down to Christmas. You could also just make it so that it could be streamers. Personally, I love how this looks when people kind of make it like draping from like above a table or the center of their room, and then like make kind of like a, it's gotta be a name for this, like a canopy of them with like multiple streamers from a section. Do you know what I'm talking about? I don't know. It just really sets the vibe. I think if you're having a little cozy Christmas like craft night or dinner or I don't know, Friendsgiving or anything, this is definitely the route I would go. Once again, it's just like paper. You could also do a fabric one. Use cute Christmas colors or prints. So easy. You can just like staple or tape the rings. So easy, and I feel like it really decorates a lot of your space. I also said mini wreaths. I made these last year. They're also super quick. You can customize it with different bows or different like little hangers, and the way I like to use these is by hanging them on like my picture frames. I think it's a really cute way to like just spruce up the art that you already have and make it a little bit Christmas-ified. But you could also just hang your mini wreaths anywhere. Like you could hang them around your door eye hole, you could hang them on your doorknob, you can hang it on your mirror. I feel like you can add a little mini wreath to like anything. This is actually probably my favorite thing I've ever crafted for Christmas. I think it turned out so well. It is these hexagon crochet stockings. I made 2 of them and they're kind of like matching color coordinating. I think they're so gorgeous. It was not hard at all to make. I will link the YouTube tutorial I followed below. The tutorial was amazing. So easy to follow. This is the only thing I've actually made out of hexagon granny squares, surprisingly, because I love how it looks. It's so, I don't know, even more satisfying than crocheting squares together. It's so satisfying crocheting like the hexagons together. They just fit so perfectly, and I feel like the stocking, like it just worked so well. Oh my gosh, I loved it. I also love how quilted stockings look, or like hand sewn ones with like embroidered names. I'm definitely better at crocheting than I am at quilting or sewing, but I think personalizing your stocking really adds to your cozy Christmas effect. I love it, and that's something you can use for years and years and years and gift to people. So lovely. I also made this last year, and that is felted, or not felted, but felt initial sweater ornaments. I have a lot of different like ornament examples because I mean obviously it's Christmas, so we're gonna have a lot of ornament making. I think I saw, was it Crate and Barrel? Was it Pottery Barn? Williams, no, I don't remember. Someone, Anthro, I don't know. Someone was like selling this for like $10, and I was like, oh my gosh, so easy to make. So easy to just get a bunch of different felt, embroidery thread, and go crazy on making adorable matching ornament sets. These are amazing gifts. These are just such a fun, cozy Christmas craft to do for yourself. I think personalized ornaments are so fun, and it's so easy to make them like match each other or really like sentimental. Like these ones, I did initials and I did like correlating colors, I think. These are pretty easy to make, and it's just like a fun one too. This would be so fun to do at a Christmas like crafting party. Yeah, I have a lot of ornaments, but I mean, we love ornaments. I also said felt sugar cookie beaded ornaments. Oh my gosh, there's a lot of really pretty beaded ones. I do think adding the beads obviously takes a little bit more time, but it makes your ornaments look a lot like fancier. So there's a lot of different ways you could go about this. There's really like intricate pretty ones, and then there's kind of like the cutesy cookie ones. I think I made some sugar cookie ones last year, but this year when I was scrolling on Pinterest, I saw beaded gingerbread ones and like gingerbread men and gingerbread houses, and I thought these were really pretty, especially with the little beaded details. So I really want to do this year. Also wanted to add that along with your felted ornament, using like a cute patterned ribbon, I feel like really elevates your finished ornament. It adds a little touch if you use a cute like gingham print like this. I actually think I used this exact ribbon to make some ornaments last year, and I would do it again. Or just like add a little bow. Oh my gosh. Bow obsessed, always. I also said fabric stuffed ornaments. I think I also made some of these, and these are really easy to make. Obviously, it's more about like the fabrics that you choose and like the shapes that you make, and it's not as much like adding detail. So this would be a good one if you want like to cover your whole tree and you need to make a million ornaments. You can make a lot of these ones because they're a lot less time consuming. Also, if you're going for more of like an anthro natural looking Christmas, not as like many details and stuff, I feel like this would be a nice route to go. Is this my last ornament? Maybe not. I said needlepoint ornaments, but then again, guys, I went to a needlepoint store yesterday, and tell me why it was so expensive. Like the pattern stencils, whatever. Maybe it was the store I went to, but they ranged from like, I think the cheapest one was like $30 to like $100. Not even with the thread, not even with the anything, but maybe you're paying for the design. I don't know. There must be other places to get it. I also know that needlepoint.com has really cute patterns, and they do the actual, like, they can make it into an ornament or a pillow or frame it for you after you like send in your finished piece, which I think is really cool. Needlepoint takes so long, but a dream one day would be to make personalized needlepoint ornaments for people because I think they're really classy, or needlepoint like little pillows. I also said a quilted or crochet Christmas tree skirt. I made a crochet tree skirt last year and it turned out like kind of okay, but I didn't follow pattern, so the shape of it is kind of off. Like I kind of have to like stretch it and like ruche it weird. There are a lot of like patterns online, so I would recommend following one of those. But if you want cozy vibes and to crochet with me, you can watch this video. I crocheted it at the beach, which is kind of funny. It was like beach but Christmas. But I think this is also a really nice way to add a little bit of like whimsy crochet to your Christmas decor. The quilted ones are really, really pretty too. Once again, not the best quilter over here, but if I was better, maybe one day I'll be able to make something like this. Okay, now we're getting into some like crochet and knit winter projects. First off, I said the bow bonnet. I know there's a lot of different versions of this, and I love that because you can find the one that is perfect for you. It seems pretty simple to knit, but then since you tie it into a bow, it's like such a fun accessory. I keep talking about how I love knitting and making like scarves and like the winter accessories, but since I live in California, I feel like the most dramatic extra person in the world, like pulling out like a hood or a fat scarf. I just feel so dramatic, but I think I might just have to start doing it because I think they're a fashion statement and I think they're adorable. On the topic of scarves, this one actually would be appropriate to wear in California. It's more of like a stylish accessory. It feels a little bit, I don't know, this sounds dumb, but it feels a little too classy for me or like too mature, but I've been loving how the larger triangle scarves look when you like drape it over your back and like tie it in the front. I think they're so cute, but you could also like wear it different ways. You could just wrap it around your head. You could like twist it and kind of just wear it more like a normal scarf. Kind of in the process of knitting, I want it to be a big triangle scarf, but then again, I don't actually know how much yarn I have, so we'll see how big it gets. I also said knit leg warmers. I think these are super, super cute, especially over some like Doc Martens, and if you're wearing like a little skirt, I feel like it automatically takes the outfit up a next level. Next, I said you could sew a giant bow wreath. I've been loving, clearly I love bows, but I really love how this looks. Maybe it's just because it's like so, just like the dramatic large bows. They're really pretty. I think bows are kind of like making their way out, you know, but if I were to do bow decor, I do think this is one of the more timeless options. I think how like slouchy and like how much you can customize it with the type of fabric you choose makes a huge difference. From my TikTok research, I found this little pipe cleaner Christmas tree, and I actually think this is so cute. You can like decorate it yourself because it's your own little like mini tree. Honestly, I feel like this used pipe cleaner is like kind of a more child-friendly crafting material to make something that would be a really cute home decor, and you could easily make multiple of these, not that expensive, and I feel like decorating it would be like the most fun part. Oh my gosh, we're back on the ornaments topic. Sorry, I like did not organize this clearly, but one of my favorite ornaments every year when I decorate my family tree is this gingerbread ornament. It's hideous, guys, but it's a little gingerbread man covered in like ugly glitter that I made in like elementary school, but I'm telling you guys, it still smells so good. It smells exactly like I just baked a fresh batch of gingerbread cookies, and I don't know why until I made this list I did not think about making more of these because this is genuinely my favorite ornament. But you can make, clearly not real gingerbread cookies, not edible ones, but you can make gingerbread scented ornaments or just like cookie scented ornaments, and oh my gosh, this one is at the top of my list. I also said a crochet tree garland. Like instead of making like popcorn garland, you can make crochet popcorn vibe garland. I've seen two that I like. I think I like the scallops one a little bit more. It looks a little bit more like crochet, whereas the other one is a good replacement if you don't want to use real popcorn. Like if you want to crochet something and for it to be reusable, I think this is a really good option, and it honestly doesn't look very hard to make at all. You could also change the colors, which I think would be really fun. Like it doesn't have to be white and look like it's replicating popcorn. I also said a crochet like chunky headband. I've been loving the big, almost like head warmer. Like that's how thick and chunky it is. They just look so cute with like a big bun. Like I wish I was wearing one right now. It would be so quick to make. You can make multiple of these in a day, to be honest with you. And you can also customize it so much. Like I've seen some that have like blanket stitch on the edge. That's probably one of my favorites, but I also think you could just do really fun color combos. You could do stripes. You could do granny squares. Oh my gosh. This one's honestly also at the top for me. Ugh, felted slippers. Guys, I'm in the middle of making the sailor slippers finally. Look how big it is. I'm still not sure if I did it wrong. This is supposed to be a size like 11, but genuinely it's as big as my torso, so I'm a little bit concerned. It's not a fault of the pattern, it's a fault of me. We don't know if it's gonna work out when I shrink it down in the washer dryer. Hopefully it does, otherwise I'm screwed. This is his Christmas gift. But felted slippers, I've not been able to shut up about felting because it's so magical, and I think winter is obviously the best time to make some fun slippers. Also said a granny square balaclava. I've always wanted to make one of these. Kind of goes back to the thing I was saying about California. Like I feel kind of dumb wearing one of these, but maybe I'll make one for when I'm home in Seattle because I would not feel dumb wearing one here. It's cold. I think the granny square look adds so much to this though. I've seen some really cute fun ways to add granny squares into this. I think this is the top of my list. If I make one Christmas DIY this year, this will be it, and that is mini knit ornaments. I actually saw this in someone's house and their mom made it, and it was like, oh my gosh, I have to make this. I don't know if I'll be able to, but I'm gonna try. But I also did some looking on Pinterest, and there's actually like so many ways to do this, but you just knit with toothpicks to make a little mini knitting project. You can either put it in a clear glass ornament. There's so many ways. You could like actually knit a tiny sweater, you can knit tiny socks, you can knit tiny mittens and make those ornaments. You can knit any of those things and put them in the glass ball. You could like knit them and then just like hang it as an ornament. There's just so many ways. You could also knit it and make a little like tiny knit ball like out of the embroidery thread with the little scarf. And then, oh my gosh, there's so many ways to go about this. I don't know if other people get as like excited about mini things as I do. They genuinely make me want to like scream and cry because it's adorable. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do this. It looks really, really difficult. Like it looks like you have to knit with like tweezers or something. I don't know, but I'm gonna try. I am gonna try. My one example of winter artwork is this like three-dimensional skiing art. I've seen this and it's not even like winter specific, but I think this would be great for like holiday decor. Do something to make it like a 3D kind of plaster look, and then you can paint little skiing guys on top of it. I think it would be fun. I love the look of the 3D art, and it would also be really easy to make this like very large scale or mini. So many ways to make it. Also said these beaded bow ornaments. I know I keep saying like, I'm wearing bows. I don't know if bows are out, but like, I don't know. For a girl thinking bows are going kind of out of style, she has a lot of bow examples on her crafting list, but I thought these were really cute. I love a beaded ornament. You could use so many different types of beads. This honestly looks pretty easy to make. I'm sure you could whip out a ton of these, enough to cover your tree. Also said knit fingerless gloves. I love this because fingers don't work for me. Even the touchscreen fingers don't work great. I'm a girl who goes on her phone. I'm a girl who takes a lot of pictures, but I think fingerless gloves are kind of like a fashionable accessory, but also make a big difference, honestly. Like even keeping like this part of your hand warm makes a difference, and they seem like a nice, easy winter project that will actually be useful. Once again, would be an amazing gift. On to a clay idea. We always have to have some like polymer clay, air dry clay, or if you actually do ceramics, you can make it out of any of these options. But I said a little Christmas trinket tray. I feel like having a ring dish is essential for me, but this is a really easy thing to swap out that you like interact with every day. It will make it feel so much more Christmassy, especially if you made the ring holder like a little tree or you put little presents. Also out of clay, you can make a little like tea light dish. I saw these little like melty snowman ones that were super cute, and also these little like snow snowy village ones. I'm a big fan of both of these. You could also make a crochet pillow. I saw a couple that I like. Personally, I love this little gingerbread house one. I think it'd be really fun to customize it. It would be really cute if you even made it look like a little bit like your own home. The other one that I like is really simple, but I think this like houndstooth stitch really reminds me of winter. Maybe it gives kind of like the plaid vibes, but I think you could do this. And honestly, this could be a year-round pillow, but I think it would look really cozy for Christmas if you want a more subtle Christmas decor. And my last DIY idea is another ornament, of course, but it's like a book themed ornament. I love the ones that are like interactive books. I think that's the coolest part. And you could also, if you're gifting it, you could like write something like a note, a date, something inside, put photos. You could also make it out of felt, or instead of making like an actual book, you could also make like a little bookshelf. And I saw this one that was, I think it was felt bookshelf, but then like bead books or embroidered books. All of these ideas I think are very, very cute. And I don't know, something about reading really matches the winter cozy vibe. It's just like in my head, Christmas equals winter equals fireplace equals cozied up with a book on the couch. Like I want that on my tree. All right guys, those were all of my 30+ Christmas / winter arc crafting ideas and crafting projects / plans. I hope that this video was helpful or inspired you for whatever crafts you want to make this winter / Christmas season. If you're already crafting or if you're gonna do any of these, as always, let me know in the comments. Or if you're making something during this video, let me know in the comments too. But other than that, thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye guys.